Here's an interesting film. It's called Redeeming Love. It's advertised as American Christian Western romance film. Yes, it's made for, hey, you know that bookstore in the church? Why, you can find that film there. You won't find Deadlock there by Bruce Willis, but you will find this type of film there. And it shows the girl as a very small child. Her mother is forced into prostitution because her husband, she got pregnant by this guy, and this guy basically said, "Out of my house, out of my house." Okay, and she went into prostitution and she died of something. But yeah, and the little girl, 10, 12 years old, basically was groomed to go into prostitution, and she was. And she was a prostitute for years until a farmer saw her in a window and say, "Oh, she's beautiful. I gotta meet her." Okay. And so I guess he takes his week's salary, or finds gold in that, and gets to go meet her in her room. She said, "You can do anything you want." And she said, he said, "I want to talk. I want to marry you." Her name was Angel, okay? And he simply bought her. Yes, he bought her. Of course, she was if you were a man in that, she was supposed to get her gold and get this and get that. She would get she would get money for being a prostitute. Yeah, but she worked for a pimp or a madam. It was a nice film. Yeah, it shows the thing. It shows basically he's a dirt farmer. Yeah. Having a horse and a plow, a horse and a wagon. He's 20 miles outside of town. I don't know how he ever watered his land, but got him plowing up and down. But she stays around, and then his brother comes, right, and says, "I know who you are." And she says, "He knows who I am, but I know who you are." And she says, "Can I get a ride to the town?" He says, "Okay, but I want sex." Oh. Sure, she goes back, and then he goes back into town and gets her back because he married her. And there's back and forth and back and forth and a lot of filling. And then the next time she runs away, she goes to San Francisco. And while she's there, her original rapist shows up in San Francisco, and he wants his Angel back. And he said, see, I'm going to show you on stage, you're going to perform, you're going to show your body, and you're going to make money for me again. And she says, she's out there, and she tells the men who are in the ballroom, the bar there, that Duke has 2 8-year-old girls upstairs which he's raping. Well, I guess it's one thing to have, quote, older girls as prostitutes, but not younger girls. So what they do is they wind up hanging Duke, right? And she winds up starting at a school, and then she winds up going back to her husband. And though she's said she could never have any children, now this is a redeeming Christian thing, redeeming a prostitute, reforms herself. She gets pregnant, has 2 kids. Yeah, it's a nice movie. Well, I think it's pretty well shot. But, it's a Christian movie made for the Christian crowd. Yeah. Okay. That's Redeeming Love. Go get the DVD.